Halftime of the first semifinal game here at Reunion Arena. Tar Heels trailing the Razorbacks 39-34. And as we review the first half stats, North Carolina and Arkansas both shooting well from the field, relatively speaking. Arkansas has not been a good rebounding team all season long and certainly held true to form in the first half. Turnovers. Again, Arkansas forcing about 20 a game, and certainly they're on track there. And the only team in foul trouble, Arkansas, with their two super sophomores with 3 apiece, Todd Day and Lee Mayberry. Big first half for Lindsey Howell, 15 points, averaging 13 on the season. And Billy, both coaches really have something to be pleased about in the first half.
Well, the foul problems with Day and Mayberry, and they're in command right now. And interestingly enough, North Carolina with Rick Fox not contributing. 0 points. He's got to step it up if they're going to get back in and steal this one.
Of course, the winner of this game moves on to the round of 8. Regional semifinals taking place tonight. Region finals will take place on Saturday. Winner of this game will play the winner of the Texas Xavier game to come up later. King Rice, Hubert Davis, Pete Chilcutt, Rick Fox, and Scott Williams, the 5 on the floor to start the second half for North Carolina.
Alio
Williams. And that's the second time that King Rice has tried to get that play to work, and 0 for 2.
They've run it against the 2-3, and Howell, who's had a terrific game thus far. The great challenge by Peter Chilcutt.
Who tipped that ball? Chilcutt at 6'9", Howell at 6'5", and again, a good indication of Howell's inside inclination.
But the 2-3 zone by Arkansas at the other end, I thought the man-to-man really got him back in this thing. There's your
that guy right there has been keeping them ahead of this game as Todd Day comes up with the turnover for the Razorbacks.
They're what I call a sneaky press team full court. They play you off the line, and they take away your passing lane beautifully.
Howell knocked loose by King Rice, recovered by Lee Mayberry, and Mayberry challenged from behind by Hubert Davis. Welcome to those of you who are watching the Connecticut Clemson game. James Brown along with Bill Raftery coming to you from Reunion Arena here in Dallas, Texas. Arkansas leading North Carolina 41-36 as Rick Fox slaps and fouls Todd Day, picking up his second personal foul. Arkansas with their 2 key players, their super sophomores, Lee Mayberry and Todd Day, in foul trouble with 3 apiece. Rick Fox did not score in the first half for Carolina, and the Tar Heels are lucky to be trailing by only 5.
And Fox is the guy. He's been passing up shots, I noticed, at the other end. But you mentioned the foul problems with Mayberry and Day. He can step it up on the offensive end. Todd Day can penetrate. He's got great range. We both asked him to step out and shoot that NBA 3. He did it flawlessly yesterday in practice.
The most prolific sophomore scorer in Arkansas history.
And how did he get out of Memphis, huh? 1 a year, it seems Nolan Richardson goes in and gets.
He's made some inroads in Memphis, Tennessee. Nolan Richardson. 6-point Arkansas lead. Carolina on the offensive end. This is Scott Williams. And Mario Credit, with a hand in his face, picks up the foul, his 3rd personal. So North Carolina mastering the boards against Arkansas, but turning the ball over. Good aggressive defense by Arkansas. Scott Williams, the leading scorer for North Carolina, and Lindsey Howell averaging only 13 a game with 17 points thus far for Arkansas, as Oliver Miller comes in to replace Mario Credit.
The game changes with Miller because they have a guy who can see the floor and make passes. He's also a good finisher down on the box.
Scott Williams, post-school ambition, pro ball and sportscasting, as we take a look at Kevin Madden, the senior, who tore up that knee in practice Monday in a one-on-one drill. Anterior cruciate ligament damage.
And over the years, they've had some tough, bad breaks. Dick Rubar was hurt years ago. Phil Ford, Tom LaGarde, 77, down in Atlanta in the final. So it hasn't been easy for Dean Smith in these tournaments.
And Day almost came up with a shot. This is Rice. 3 on 3. and throws it away.
Why did Rick Fox stop James? They had the numbers. All he had to do was go to the box or fan out and get into three-point range. And a dismayed Dean Smith, because Nolan Richardson, I think, has got his club perked up considerably now from early in the game. Can't leave him alone.
Day double clutches. No foul call. Carolina on the move.
This is where they're tough on a secondary break.
Williams, nice pass from Chilcutt. It's a two-point ball game.
It's not the first 2 or 3. It's the 4 and 5 man that kill you for Carolina. Here's the switch. They haven't done a lot of trapping half court, James. Probably one of the reasons you didn't go there. They were going to ask you to guard somebody.
I like to put it up like Bowers, who misses. Chilcutt with yet another rebound. 9 for Pete Chilcutt on the evening. Davis. Hubert Davis's 5th point ties the ball game at 42 apiece.
Two-three, they'll trap.
Davis for 3. Make that Day off the mark. Rice, 3 on 2. And Rice is hammered by Arlen Bowers. Tighter ball game up in East Rutherford. Clemson. And boy, is Clemson a hot and cold team. They can go cold and turn hot very quickly. As we take a look at some women's action from around the NCAA. And Tennessee moves to the round of 8 in women's play.
First, Tennessee may sell a ton of tickets, huh, for that final. Texas women have been good for a long time. Tommy Penders finally has the men. Getting a little attention.
He enjoys the success of the women's program.
You notice King Rice, he's not the flair player for Dean Smith, but what he does take advantage of situations, whether it's the penetration all the way, the pull-up jumper, or he steps in once he gives it off.
Tapped in by Fox.
He has been a quiet Fox in the first half, not a sly Fox.
Nonetheless, he adds to a 9-zip run by the Tar Heels as Miller slams it through, bringing the Razorbacks back within 1.
Now that's preparation. They saw the trap, they spaced, got to the right position. Good look.
Rodel for 3. And it stays Carolina's ball.
Well, who would you like better to hold off an Army than Oliver Miller? Didn't really have to get the body on, but that was great execution by Arkansas.
Looks like he had some Mexican jumping beans for dinner as the big fella carried that weight up. Center stage here at Reunion Arena. Still to come, Xavier and Texas. Our score here, the Tar Heels nursing a 1-point lead over the Razorbacks. 16-21 remaining in the contest. James Brown along with Bill Raftery. And Rodel being hounded by Lee Mayberry.
He's got to be careful. Got away with one out there. Good man-to-man. And this got them a little excited when Nolan Richardson switched to the straight-up man.
Stolen by Mayberry.
Great touch passing.
2-on-1. And give the tip to Scott Williams. This is Rice. Over to Fox.
Both clubs so unselfish. Love to see them in the open floor.
Fury. Right back. Back to a 1-point ball game. Only the 4th point of the evening for Rick Fox, who's trying to uncork. Rice. Rebounded by Miller. And fouled by King Rice.
Beautiful steal by King Rice. Miller made himself the same size as the King. Didn't keep it up. This is anticipating a foul. Miller now Wide open. Oh, ball. When that goes against you, you cringe.
You act like you're still coaching, Bill.
Well, I got a few moves left. Not many wins.
Hubert Davis in for the Tar Heels, replacing Henrik Rodel. 47-46, Carolina lead.
North Carolina man-to-man, they're really trying to take Miller out of the game inside. There's the trap whenever you go to one of the lines.
Mayberry for three. Hury up high. Blocked by Williams and Howell. Lindsey Howell with his 19th point of the evening, and Carolina wants to talk it over, trailing by one. Over 16,000 here in Reunion Arena enjoying an outstanding semifinal contest between North Carolina from the ACC and the Southwest Conference champion Arkansas Razorbacks. Arkansas nursing a 1-point lead, 48-47 with 14:39 remaining. Hubert Davis. Fox with the fresh 45 for the Tar Heels.
Ooh.
And Clemson has come back.
Amazing team. They can look so bad
and yet still win ugly. And Fox is fouled by Ron Hury.
You notice on that press, Scott Williams was forced to call a timeout. Then he came in, he could run the baseline to get it in, and he got himself stuck behind the backboard. And you can't make that pass down the floor to your right. So he's got to be careful. They're going to have to call another timeout or a turnover will ensue.
Second personal foul on Ron Hury. Third team foul for Arkansas. Williams blocked cleanly by Miller.
Now,
Stays Carolina's ball.
During the year, I've teased Tommy Grice for blocking shots to Villanova center on his tippy toe. Well, Oliver Miller gets up as high as we might at our tender age. But it is effective.
And Miller had the second block on the lob in, but he got him on the hand. So Miller picks up personal foul number 2.
I still can't get over him with the media. They had credit, had to come back and tell him to keep quiet. We've got to get on the bus. He was all over them. Anybody with a light or a pad and pencil.
A low-scoring affair thus far, certainly lower than what Arkansas would like to have it.
There's that alley-oop. Little rub off on Fox for Williams.
Chilcutt gets the bounce. And a 1-point Carolina lead.
You know what I noticed on the Arkansas defense? They're very tough outside, but soft in the middle. So you can get the ball in, do some things, and kick it. Nice kick here.
And Bowers can't find the range. Good hands by Hury.
And a good call, too. I mean, that's what you're taught in the playground. The third personal foul, Nolan cringing. He's upset. But in the NCAA, you just don't get away with that.
So Hury, Mayberry, and Day all with 3 personal fouls. Fox, good pump fake, good move by Rick Fox.
They're not toughening up in the 3-second area.
How good tough move to the basket. Back to a 1-point Carolina lead.
The ease Arkansas is giving up goals would concern me if I'm Nolan Richardson. Getting it to the box, then making a strong move or a kick out.
Davis, off-balance move, rebounded by Hury.
Hury likes to stick those arms out.
And Mayberry looking for floor balance as Williams is caught with the pushing foul on the inside. Third personal on Scott Williams. Third team foul for Carolina.
It is a physical game, but there are some touches as you try and take away a pad. Now, I mean, that's not going to hurt that. That's like me bumping you. He's had a few meals under that belt. He can take it.
Well, if I tried to do it with a dislocated finger, I would hurt.
You've been getting away with that for weeks now.
Still a tight one. Still a tight one. Now, Billy, one of the things you're most frustrated with, one of the college rules, the reset of the 45-second clock.
Right, on that one, it's a kick, so they do it. But you're right, on a shot, if it doesn't hit anything, it's a reset. And I think they'll address that, James. A lot more people are concerned over it. It punishes the defense. There's the kickback, the two good shooters on the one side.
Double pump by Day, and he finds the range. 9 points for Todd Day, averaging 19 as Arkansas regains the lead by 1 with 12:23 remaining in the contest.
Lynch with Miller, and now they go to the zone. They're out of the man-to-man. Oliver Miller had to play Lynch, and it's just not the same foot speed.
And King Rice, complaining about a slippery floor, wants to have it dried up. Boy, everybody's in tournament form.
Right on top of it. Because Dean Smith been doing it for years. Goes back to when Doug Moe was in school. He was the assistant to Frank McGuire, and of course the love affair with his kids ever since. They all come back in the summer. Great feeling for him and Chapel Hill.
Dean has won 7 NCAA regional championships.
Nice
Roll
work.
to Lynch. Double pumps and draws the foul from Oliver Miller.
Just too quick for Miller. Anything with Lynch isolated with Oliver Miller, a mismatch in the form of speed.
So the big O, Oliver Miller, picks up his 3rd personal foul. Midwest Regional semifinal action coming to you from Dallas, Texas. Meanwhile, up in the Meadowlands, a 2-point ball game there with 21 seconds remaining.
Nolan Richardson going bigger now, and I think this is the lineup that's going to have to excel for him. Credit's going to have to step it up.
As George Lynch knocks in his 7th point. Mario Credit comes in to replace Uri.
Lynch played at Flint Hill for a year under Stu Vetter, a renowned, and you know, from the Washington area, everybody has great respect for him, so he came in pretty well schooled to this program.
Played with Aaron Bain up at Villanova. Tie ball game, 52 apiece. Miller, Lee Mayberry, Todd Day, Fury. And Credit to 5 on the floor. Rebounded by King Rice.
Use of the floor.
Hubert Davis. Miller with the rebound. Well, Miller really is a lot more aggressive and active than when I saw him in the 9th game of the season.
You were tough on him, and Lynch has done a great job fronting Credit. The last time he forced a jump shot, this time he got Credit to push him off. And that's working, getting in front, using your footwork, and being aggressive. You just don't relax and lay behind. Step across. And, of course, the big hand, I think I would let him play on.
And Credit picks up his 4th personal foul.
Let's rest the P's in the whistle for a while, huh?
I agree. 1-on-1 situation for the Tar Heels. Darryl Hawkins in for the Razorbacks, replacing Ron Hury. So for Carolina, it's King Rice, George Lynch, Rick Fox, Hubert Davis, and Scott Williams, the 5.
Now with Hawkins in, they can change the pace from fast to ridiculous. Just watching him play.
To
See if they
ridiculous.
go after it.
Rebound controlled by Lindsey Howell. His 7th rebound. Mayberry.
Makes great judgments, doesn't he, James? Very sound.
Howell. And before the shot, the foul is going to be called on George Lynch. 2nd personal foul on Lynch.
Maybe Scott Williams, I'm not sure. Yeah, Scott they give it to. Both of them down there on that trap.
That's 4th personal on Scott Williams, and he'll have to take a seat.
Just before the half, they got him out. just to save him.
So it's Fox, Chilcutt, Lynch, Rice, and Davis. The 5 for Carolina. Mayberry for 3.
Nice tip by Miller.
Howell
Kept it in play.
23 points for Lindsey Howell. And it's a 2-point Arkansas lead. Lynch.
Not a good gamble, huh, by Oliver Miller. Once he commits, he cannot recover. Has to stay at home. If anything, he's got the bulk.
Mayberry for 3. And King Rice called for the charging foul. That's his 4th personal foul.
Nice
Day
combo.
with the 3. Good hustle by Howell. Hawkins. Rebounded by Chilcutt. And Miller.
Numbers.
Good save by Fox into Lynch. And Howell gets Lynch with the body. 3rd personal on Lindsey Howell.
In the first half, we saw them sneak down Carolina and get those chippy hanging. Remember that in the old days? Clemson on top with 11. Oh, what a finish.
Connecticut has the ball, trailing by 1. Amazing that Connecticut has played as well, giving away all that height to the Twin Towers, the duo of doom. Dale
And
Davis.
some nights they don't play well. They're doomed, right? They must have it all together tonight. But Carolina able to look deep because of the wing shooters. They don't have the proper balance, Arkansas. They might get some easy key baskets for the next 9 minutes.
George Lynch misses the first of 2 for Carolina. Scott Williams comes back in with 4 personal fouls at the 9:42 mark for Carolina, replacing George Lynch. And Carolina trailing by 2.
If Arkansas scores, look for a little more pressure. They're going to try and test, I think, Kenny Harris. He's going to have to play very well for Carolina.
Usually Arkansas goes down low to Miller in situations like this, and he wants the ball. Mayberry will go for it, and he's got the 3.
And the penetration of Day. May Day usually spells victory for Arkansas. Those two get on their game. Double tick.
Arkansas ball. Day for 3.
So much for zones right now, James. Carolina has to come out and tag each guy.
Biggest lead of the ball game, an 8-point Arkansas lead with 8:40 remaining. Williams blocked by Miller. Fox for 3. Hawkins. Mayberry. 3. Was tied at 54 apiece, and Arkansas has gone on a 12-1 run thanks to 3 3-pointers, 2 by Todd Day, 1 by Lee Mayberry. Now this is Davis for 3, and he connects.
Dean Smith did not wait. Put King Rice back in the ball game. No sense waiting.
Howell.
Now you know where they call this Barnhill South. Those flags in the ceiling for the Southwest tournament. And a lot of people here pulling for the Hogs.
Arkansas has won 2 consecutive Southwest Conference titles here in this arena. 6 consecutive games. 12 and 6 overall, so this is indeed Barnhill South. Fox for 3. A 7-point contest with 7:25 remaining. Hawkins. Unbelievable shooting.
He has really come in and just played hard. Hasn't touched the ball very often, but he's such an upbeat player. It impacts on others. Bad defense by Miller here.
Scott Williams misses the jump hook.
You get tired when you carry those extra pounds. You don't deny that box or 3-second area.
Smart move by Day. Brings it back out. Todd Day, Lee Mayberry, Oliver Miller, Lindsey Howell, and Darrell Hawkins, the 5 for the Razorbacks on the floor.
Carolina man-to-man because of that great three-point and distance shooting.
Day. Blocked by Scott Williams. Clean.
And a little whooping. King Rice talking to Day. What a read and reaction.
Todd Day into Miller. Slam.
The trap cost them. They didn't rotate over in front of Miller.
8 points for Oliver Miller. Hubert Davis off the mark for the 3, and Miller with his 4th rebound.
Oh. Wow. Look at that score.
And the dream continues for the University of Connecticut, the Huskies. Pull it out by 1. And Miller pumps his way up, drawing the foul from Pete Chilcutt, his first personal.
He may get a 3-second violation as he works his way to the goal. He's not the quickest, but on the box, dynamite as he goes strong. And of course, we've seen the great passing from down there all evening. Oliver Miller.
Amazing the improvement and confidence of this young man here, Oliver Miller. He just pointed over to the table at us saying, I'm under control.
You were killing him early in the week, though. You weren't so sure he could step up. He's really improved his play since you saw him against Vegas.
He's answering back. 9 points, 4 rebounds.
Here's the pressure now.
13-point Arkansas lead. Under 6 minutes to play.
The spread and penetration.
Williams.
That's the guy they got to go to because Miller just can't react quick enough to step up and then go get his man.
Day. Fouled by Rick Fox.
Well, maybe a message right here for one James Brown, Harvard grad, who got on the play of Oliver Miller. Some enthusiasm.
He knows he's got a lot of potential.
Well, those two, Credit and Miller, can take this team, as they have, quite a distance. It's how they play, how they react. And Nolan Richardson certainly has gotten it done. Huh? High school El Paso, what do you say? He had a real small team. not very large fellas down there in that area of the country. And that's how he learned offense, though. Pushing the ball up and taking advantage of numbers and different situations. The defense he picked up from Don Haskins, his old college coach.
As Nolan Richardson looks on, Hubert Davis comes in to replace Henrik Rodel for the Tar Heels. Todd Day has grown about 3 inches in the past 2 years. Obviously playing guard at about 6'5", now at 6'8". And at that forward spot is awfully difficult to check because of his mobility.
I had Memphis State and Larry Vincent. How did I let him get away as Nolan wants a timeout to gather his team? They've had a terrific run and basically the outside shooting.
to those of you who are watching the University of Connecticut Clemson contest. UConn, of course, pulled off the victory. Down here at the Midwest Region semifinal, James Brown along with Bill Raftery. Connecticut moves on to the round of 8. Arkansas and Carolina here. Arkansas's defense has really come to life, and the outside shooting has been unbelievable with this stretch in the past 6 minutes.
Well, they've had to concentrate on Oliver Miller a little more. He's been the focal point, but the outside shooting has drawn the defense out. They dumped it down. When they step back, they kick it and make the 3. But I've got to attribute to Nolan Richardson's typical defensive aggressiveness. They may not have caused turnovers, but they're in position and work very hard.
Arkansas players indeed in foul trouble, but it has not hurt them thus far. They enjoy a 13-point lead with 5:36 remaining. North Carolina's big man Scott Williams in foul trouble with 4. The game was tied at 54 apiece at 10 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. The last 5 minutes, it's been a 22-9 run by the Razorbacks. This is King Rice, 1-on-3.
They're pretty tough with Miller waiting in the back.
Hubert Davis. Davis again.
Pretty good reaction defensively here. I think they've got to go in to get these kind of shots.
Williams, good ball movement by the Carolina team. And it's an 11-point lead.
If they're going to look for threes, they got to go to the box, James, and then kick it back out. They can't force it quickly. Oh,
Miller.
Great look.
Oliver Miller with 12 points, averaging 11 off the bench. And Williams with only his 7th attempt at a 3-pointer.
Good court presence by King Rice, not going in the backcourt.
Inside to Williams, and Miller, not alert on the defensive end, picks up his 4th personal foul.
Well, you mentioned 3 extra inches. You can see the floor a little bit better. They've punished Carolina. Good preparation, good position, and even you could send this one in. Great look.
Well,
Good execution.
As I take a look at him, it was 65 pounds ago for me to get up that high.
The old days, if you showed up like that at practice, you would be dismissed by Coach Harrison, right?
Scott Williams, impressive evening. 18 points, 6 rebounds, perfect from the free throw line at 6 for 6.
And this is not an easy club to press and get back in the game. Went to the floor. A lot of ball handlers, a lot of people who see things. They're playing smaller now with Bowers in the game. So in essence, they've got 3 guards with Day as the small forward.
And Smith's got a lot of time remaining, Billy. 4:42 remaining, trailing by 12. Make it 11 as George Lynch replaces Scott Williams. Smith looking for the quickness on the press.
Going for the home run. They really don't need this. Pretty good presence as well by Day.
Not a bad pass by Miller.
He likes the long one.
Risky looking, though, was it not?
Yeah, it looked like a quail. He doesn't really get a lot of follow-through on that.
Sounds like a Billy Kilmer pass.
Yeah, exactly.
Ball handling squad in for
bad
nice
job.
pass to Miller, and he's fouled by Rick Fox.
Pete Chilcutt committed so early. Miller was wide open. You've got to time your step out. You don't leave a man until the ball handler is trapped, and then he reverses out and does not see Oliver Miller.
4th personal on Rick Fox as Scott Williams and King Rice replace Kenny Harris and George Lynch. Not a bad evening, and he's perfect from the free throw line, 2 for 2.
Very stoic, huh? Almost a matter of fact on that. I guess when you win as often as Nolan does, you don't get into it as much. Or maybe underneath.
Hubert Davis, rebounded by Mayberry. Nice. Today. for three. Mayberry. And good hustle by King Rice, and even better by Arlen Bowers. Miller. Welcome to those of you who were with the Connecticut Clemson game throughout to the Midwest Region semifinal action here at Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. James Brown along with Bill Raftery, and it's Arkansas running away from Carolina with 3:28 remaining. They're up by 16.
You cannot press this club. Too many good ball handlers. And look at that enthusiastic thrust. And that's for the end zone crown at Barnhill South. No timeout, James. I believe they thought it was a TV timeout. Well, now they're giving it to Carolina.
Well, Dean Smith says, I don't want it. I didn't call it.
He's saying King Rice called it. I saw him go 2-1. Now this is 1-1. Dean Smith always values his timeouts, holds them as long as he can.
And again, a magnificent job done by Dean Smith. He got his ball club here with the upset of the top seed, Oklahoma. And he thought that the game against Oklahoma prepared his ball club well to play this Arkansas team. But Arkansas, finally getting it all together, has exploded to a 16-point lead.
Did you know the cost for these two business calls from Los Angeles to Las Vegas at 10 a.m. may be different than you think?
The check's in the mail? Great.
With
Howell did it in the first half for Arkansas with 15 first-half points, and it's been the effervescent Oliver Miller in the second half. 4 points in the first half for this young man, 14 in the second half. And Arkansas on a 32-16 run in the last 7 minutes. They enjoy a 17-point lead over North Carolina with 3:26 remaining.
James, so play heavy. You play this way, play heavy. He's done everything.
And Arkansas has forced Carolina into 17 turnovers.
Because anytime you slow it down when you're in up-tempo, you run the risk of making some mistakes.
Bowers to Miller.
Got the steps.
Walked first before being fouled by Chilcutt. Traveling call on Oliver Miller.
Carolina needs goals quick. That's why Denny's in the ball game, a deep shooter. But to get them, I still think you've got to go to the box. If the guy doesn't have it, then find somebody outside. Don't just come down and shoot long threes.
Jeff Denny, Hubert Davis, Scott Williams, Rick Fox, and Pete Chilcutt. This is Chilcutt. Denny. And Carolina with a third consecutive attempt. Davis off the mark. Finally, Arkansas with the ball.
Just go up and shoot the two and then press maybe, huh? I don't know. The three can blow you out quickly if you don't make them.
2:30 remaining. And Arkansas with a 17-point lead, eyeing Saturday's regional final here. The winner of this game will play the winner of game 2 here in Dallas, Texas Xavier. As Lindsey Howell leaves the game with 25 points, averaging 13 on the season.
Did he have some ball game too? First half, got them going.
This is indeed Barnhill South.
Oh, it's incredible. Of course, the Southwest tournament here, a lot of the Arkansas people gobbled up all the tickets that were left.
And there were only 1,000 given to each school, but Arkansas, of course, enterprising fans called the Oklahoma fans who had tickets. And Oliver Miller leads to a well-deserved applause with 19 points.
Well, that's one bear hug Richardson might lose. He's a big guy himself. Well, Frank Broyles has made a lot of correct decisions as a football coach, but maybe his best decision ever, and a tough one at the time, was to hire Nolan Richardson and stand by him during those early days. He has done just a marvelous job.
Mayberry. Chilcutt for three. And a tough decision you mentioned by Broyles at the time, as Nolan Richardson became the first black coach of any sport in the Southwest Conference. The Trailblazer is doing it here.
It's Wednesday morning in Ford County.
Hey, Dad, is it really true that full-size Chevy pickups have more two-sided galvanized steel than Ford?
That's right, son. The electrolytic deposition of zinc on steel protects it from chemical oxidation.
But I mean, if it helps stop rust, how come a big company like Ford doesn't use as much as Chevy?
I don't know, son. I just don't know.
Rust protection. No wonder people from Ford prefer Chevy trucks. Nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America.
If you want to move ahead in any career, you have to know what most employers want. Like how to work with a team, how to handle responsibility, how to take on a...
Claimed to be America's team, playing in Pine Bluff, Little Rock, Lafayette, and here Barnhill South in Dallas. Nolan Richardson, the Trailblazer we mentioned, feels he's had a lot to do with the hiring of coaches like Leonard Hamilton down at Oklahoma State, John Shoemate here at SMU, and other coaches who are looking to get back into the coaching ranks, like Will Jones, who was a coach of the national champion UDC team a few years ago, Division II squad.
West Carolina trying to trap, get control a little bit. And you think of Dean Smith, this perhaps maybe his best coaching job ever. When you think of this club early in the year struggling, and a great recruiting year, Mike Francesa mentioned Montrose making that decision. Of course,
Another number of other good kids.
Brian Reese, 2 New York kids going there as well. So it's a great year. And he will be back. Terrific job this year by the Tar Heels.
Coming up next here on CBS, some of you will see the contest here between Texas and Xavier, while most of you will see the Duke Blue Devils from the ACC taking on UCLA back into the Sweet 16.
Familiar name.
Jim Harrington's done a good job there.
Sure has. And incorporated John Wooden, gotten him involved as well. And a lot of the ball games, John is there. Of course, honored some of the former players of his this particular year. One by the name of Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Carolina will be back in a big way next year. Many people thought that Dean Smith had lost his recruiting touch, and indeed, the old expression was Dean Smith did not recruit, he selected. Maybe not the case last year, but certainly this freshman class coming in.
Just can't get those threes to go. So that bench looked dejected, but they should be awfully proud of the tremendous year they've given their school.
1:17 remaining, 92-73, Arkansas leads.
And P.J. Colesimo, the Seton Hall coach, was telling me that, I said, how is Dean Smith doing? This is last summer. He said, Dean is back, meaning he was involved with a lot of big-time players. So, Tar Heel, NCAA.
And even after 29 years, you said you were impressed with Dean's ability to still change with the times and the game.
Understands what has to be done. He can play at a quick pace, slow pace. He coaches his team. But this is Nolan Richardson's night. And a tip.
Whitby.
Compliment to him. Just great preparation.
Dave. And Nolan Richardson, who has been a big winner everywhere he's gone, from the high school ranks, Bowie High School in Texas, to the junior college ranks, had a 37-0 ball club at West Texas Junior College. Tulsa turned that program around, and now Arkansas. And of course, you mentioned Frank Broyles making the right decision, and Frank Broyles is convinced that with the right coach in Nolan Richardson and talent, that he's got the program of the 90s.
And the family atmosphere, too. We talk about Rolly Massimino and coaches like that. Dean Smith, another one. He does more for his kids off the floor. Incredible rapport. Caring man.
Seconds remaining. Whitby. Cannon Whitby off the mark. Jeff Denny. And the final 7 seconds. As Warren Lynn hits a two-pointer. for Arkansas. Arkansas outscored North Carolina 42-19 over the last 10 minutes and come away with the victory, and they advance to the regional finals here in Dallas. They will await the winner of the Texas Xavier game. The Chevrolet players of the game are Oliver Miller with 19 points for Arkansas and Scott Williams with 20 for North Carolina. For Bill Raftery, this is James Brown saying so long from Dallas. Let's take you back to New York and Jim Nance.
23-point victory for the Razorbacks, and that could shape up as an all-Southwest Conference final in the Midwest as Texas and Xavier coming up next. And Mike, you have some strong thoughts about that game coming up, Texas and Xavier.
Well, I know you like Xavier. I like Texas. I've liked them right through. I thought they could beat Georgia and Purdue. They can shoot the ball. They can spread you out. I think if they play a tight zone, Xavier has trouble sometimes. They have the big guys inside, but they have trouble sometimes from the perimeter. I look for Texas. Turn them over a little bit. I think Texas is going to surprise Xavier. There's
still a buzz over at the Meadowlands over Connecticut's last second, and I say last second, I mean one last tenth of a second victory over Clemson, 71-70, and we're going to go back and show you the finish of this game as the one seed UConn moves on to the regional final and will take on the UCLA Duke winner, which is coming up next. Now let's catch the end of that game. Dick Stockton had the call for us about a half an hour ago.
Here goes the long pass with 1 second to go. The shot. Yes! The shot's going to count. The shot by Tate George wins it.
Now, Clemson had gone on a 30-10 run to come from 19 back, and then Connecticut took this shot. Tate George turning around and burying the shot to win it, 71-70. What we've gone back to do now through our videotape is to take a look with slow motion at the last seconds and to see if the shot was released in time, Mike. And let's give the folks the rules now here, the college rules on when the game is officially over.
The buzzer. It is off at the buzzer. We checked the buzzer, and it definitely was off before the buzzer, and now you'll see it also go off before the light.
The buzzer and the red light.
Yeah.
Now, here we go. This is 1/10. This is an NBA arena, Brendan Byrne Arena at the Meadowlands, so they've got the fraction of a second there, 1/10 of a second. Tate George now. We're going to advance this by a frame. And as you see, time elapsed just as the ball left his hands, and there the light goes off some 3 or 4 feet. The ball on its way, in midair, on its way to the winning basket.
So he beat the light and he beat the horn, which is, of course, the official thing in college basketball. So he beat them both. There's no question about it. When we first saw it, you said, hey, he didn't get it off in time.
Yeah, and my first thought was it was after the buzzer. All right.
Good.
You cannot get any closer than that. The madness continues. UConn advancing on. And next up, we're going to be going out back to the Meadowlands for UCLA and Duke. And we'll continue on the road to the Final Four after this message and a word from your local station.
Proud Legacy was born.